Alright, hey, welcome to video. Make sure it's actually recording my voice this time. Yeah, it is. Alright, so I'm gonna load up a save. Luckily, I was able to save it just for the ending. And I wanted to share some of my thoughts about the whole journey. So I can't see chat right now. This is just gonna be up. It's just an easy way for me to put it up. So there's gonna be spoilers. So if you don't want any of the game spoiled, don't don't watch this video. So I've got to say, I really like the ending, at least one that I chose. I've got some questions. I think it's just because I just get too anxious and I wasn't reading enough about some of the memos and getting more of an idea. But it seems like I think there would be. I mean, there's quite obviously several different ways that this game can play out, and in very dramatic ways. Like, yeah, let's just go ahead and do the one that I did, and I'll kind of explain, the decisions I made leading up to this point, without ruining the actual journey. So, like, some of the boss fights, I want those to be surprises for people regardless. And yes, there's multiple fights. At least mine, I was like, geez, seriously? Am I killing everyone? Like, but it kind of makes sense. So the path I chose was freedom, Stalker freedom. So where you see right here, this was sea consciousness. So I'm actually in X7 right now. I'm not going to say how I got here, what happened before this, any of the events leading up to it. But this is where Strelok was. So Strelok in the beginning of the game, and the first one I believe he wiped out sea consciousness, which would be the scientists that were in the middle of, putting themselves into basically like life after death or whatever. They didn't really fully know what they were doing. So let's kind of look at some of my, no, not that. Look at some of my journal entries because I did just pick up a bunch of notes from Dr. Kaimana. So the progress is underway as you scouts set up a site for the installation. Will need to be patient until the situation for probing the barriers density are operational. So they are aware of some barrier, and it seems like we'll need to be until the situation for probing the barriers. So there was a barrier, they were probing it and wanted to break through. I was kind of thinking that this would take like a quantum reality sort of twist or something like that, but I'm thinking there's some other type of dimensional thing, whatever, I don't know. The atmosphere, okay, all this. My colleagues are enthusiastic, so am I, but more than I think the less I like the fervor. I've been hearing a lot of talk lately about connecting the noosphere, which is supposed to be like the force sort of kind of thing going on. Everybody's in touch with each other, and changing it to get rid of the darkness humanity has brought upon itself to create a more perfect world. So this would kind of lend credence. Maybe I'm wrong. It'd be really kind of cool if people want to leave comments in the comments, not in the live chat. But it's kind of interesting to me because I'm wondering if the noosphere is more of like a societal side network, right? And we're just feeding off hatred and ugliness and whatever. And when they broke the barrier, and maybe this is one way to interpret it, my way. Maybe when they discovered this psi influence, and we were just always at war, always hurting each other, and then Chernobyl happened, and the barrier and these experiments maybe broke into that. We're able to tap into that, recognize it, and see a way to get into that, insert themselves, and maybe try to control that, and so doing all of humanity, right? To create a more perfect world. At one point I had to step back and remind everyone of the unwritten rules of scientific ethics and the individual mission of every scientist in particular. So we go further in that. So that was dated 1998, so we fast forward 8 years. Looks like they made up their minds. They're keeping up professional appearances, sure, and yet they're avoiding eye contact. What does the noosphere mean to you, Kamenov? What will you give to your desires? Will you give to your desires? Or will you protect the thought forms within its confines? Ooh, okay, so this is lending more credence the more I read on this. And I'll do the ending because it's really awesome. Trust me, it's going to be worth it, but I just kind of want to put everything in context. This is the crux of the matter. Should we take a risk? It may pay off, but if it doesn't, we could be facing a disaster of unthinkable, even global magnitude. It seems Dallin, so that was the head of the ISPF, I think, or whatever, intends to swap out my empty pod with Suslov's apparatus from the Caribbean experiment. I still have to understand this thing. I'm surprised they haven't thought about constructing a varimeter large enough to replace all 8 of us, but then who would claim the accolades? Well, CTA lost instructions. This is actually the pod if you're looking down on top of it with the 8 things coming out. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So we're 7 dudes and then a control, I think, or something. I'm not really 100% on this Noosphere project documents. Let's go back to the earliest one, 1989. According to the report from Alpha, psi radiation of a biological nature has been detected while in the brain of sentient species. Okay, so in general, yeah, so any sentient species is giving off psi radiation. I have no idea where blah 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 gets his test subjects from, and I have no intention of finding out. That's it's pretty screwed up when this place that I'm in, and when you start kind of getting down into the nitty-gritty of it. I want no part of these studies. What I've heard from my colleagues, their twisted in vivo methods do yield quite spectacular results. They performed a successful test of IRCD, individual remote communications device, the Fiber 1MP unit at the Troposphere Okay, so this must be the Caribbean experiment station. The side effect, they obtained data including that the psi radiation might somehow be linked to a powerful external informational field covering the whole world, I guess. Existing issues. Okay, so let's fast forward to 91. Biological psi radiation has some intrinsic fundamental constraints that can hardly be overcome in the foreseeable future. The only apparent option is to artificially grow a brain of enormous size. X16 does have a number of volunteers for this project, including Professor Prodidiep, whatever, but this is not the path that will take us to the noosphere. For now, while alternative approaches are yet to be found, we'll focus our efforts on the electromagnetic generation of psi radiation. Groups work on the increase the capacity of the transmitting signal, develop a tunnel to limit interference, increase range. The group's work on the electromagnetic simulation of psi radiation has resulted in the discovery of beta psi. So I wonder if there's alpha, beta psi radiation, alpha. A physical prototype is yet to be presented, or is to be presented shortly. Yeah, that's super jacked. I think anybody who plays the game is going to know what the physical prototype is. It kind of matches, because I think the game takes place in 2021. So that would make the physical prototype, quotes around it, 33 years old, 32 years old. Or no, wait, 30 years old. Sorry, yeah, so 30 years old, which makes sense. Okay. Anyways, 91, 93, part of the group led by, work now of lab axes. So far they have tested Raduga, an omnidirectional antenna for the psi emitter for electron, known as to the distribution, blah blah blah, the necessary modifications, blah 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 blah. Afram Research Institute, they're definitely both on the same page. Unexpected discovery, unfortunately. Question mark. The reason for all our technical hurdles might be due to the existence of a greater informational field engulfing the entire planet. I can hardly believe it myself. The noosphere. Raduga has built and tested, but to test this incredible hypothesis, we need something smaller and equipped with a beam-focused feature. Alright, so this is starting to get kind of weird, interesting. Let's see. Marshall's Last Channel Spirit. No, that's not gonna really... I would have to go back. I wonder if I can look at the Caribbean. I've got so many friggin' notes. I wish you could sort these so I could see like the notes on the Caribbean experiment. I just want to look at that, but I don't think those would just give you kind of like a breadcrumb thing leading to the end. So I'm definitely gonna play it again. So let me talk about the decisions I made to get up to this point. I'm not gonna open the journal because that might ruin things. Let me just talk about the loadout too. If you want, uh, you make sure you got a Gauss gun, or something with insanely high penetration, for the end of the game. That's just leave it at that. The shoddy, this you will find, so don't worry about it. Just be very diligent where you're looking. Before that, I was actually using, I actually brought a Gauss gun. They give you one too. And I was using the Texan, which is just the D12, whatever shotgun. This thing's amazing. If you kit it out, this probably could carry you through the entire game. Just this one shotgun. But you know, you want a primary, secondary, and then it's just common. I didn't have to use this in the end, but this would have made it. I mean, look, it's maxed out on almost everything. And it's a freaking pistol. So, anyways, my gun choice was not the Stunk. It was the I forget what they call this. I've got a mod that gives these guns the real world names, but you can mount it with the M203 grenade launcher, throw a silencer on there, an ACOG, and you're ready to rock and roll. And this thing has got some really nice stats. Like its pen that's what I'm talking about. The pen is everything. Damage is secondary. Penetration is everything. All right, so let's get to the choices I made, and then we're gonna actually pull out the ending because it's really good. It's one of the best endings I've seen in a game. I think when you get to see your own character and stuff, that's what's really cool. So I should probably let me just throw this on because it'll not make sense otherwise. Oof, now I'm overweight. Well, anyways, if I throw anything on, I'll start getting radiation poisoning. Nice last summer sausage here. Alright, so you'll find these suits too, so don't fret. Don't be freaking out because there'll be a point where they'll be like, oh, to do everything, you'll need a special suit from X7. You'll get that like twice. Like I have another one. There's one laying on a table, and I was told that, and then they make sure to give you another one later. The Velas is going to be kind of important. This thing, I wonder, a small drive can only be read on a compatible. So this cartridge is kind of an imprint of you. Your consciousness, your not your consciousness, it's like your psi field or something like that. I don't know enough about these cartridges yet, and I want to kind of go back because now I feel stupid, but I know it has something to do with like you're imprinting yourself. So I will say I've gone to the point of imprinting myself onto this. And the choices I've all made have been in line with just going my own path, like free. So I was getting the next one. I'll do duty because I don't know, man. Now though that I've seen the ending, like it kind of makes me think that duty is the worst possible way to go. And I also think, really, if you kind of think about it, I'll explain after the credits roll more on it, but my initial impression is if you go duty's route, if you kind of start to put some thought to it, you're like, oof, that's probably not going to play out too well, right? Like, because you're just kind of the status quo, right? Mankind's just going to keep killing each other. We're all connected to this thing that's maybe just the noosphere that's, we're all just inclined to kill one another. Then again, if you go with, say, Scar, you're looking at a guy who's like, I don't know what his issue is. Like, he's definitely he's a crackpot. He's definitely got some major issues. So one thing that I am reminded of in this game is when they told you, do not trust anyone, right? And that can't be, I mean, it's so literal, it's hilarious. And I think the one person who you think might be your enemy is actually cool with you, is cool. Although I wish, if I had known, we'll see how this plays out. If I didn't know how it was going to end, the very ending, then I would have probably, I still would have went along with it. I would have been like, okay, cool, like right on, like, because he was quite literally the only person in the game. This NPC was the one to really show you the world the way it is. So, and never really kind of lied to you, ironically. Whereas another one seemed like they, well, let's just go with it. So let's go ahead and I'm going to insert my cartridge. We can see the cartridges for the other 7 scientists. which doesn't matter. They're all dead. Thanks to Strelok. What do I gotta do? Flip the power on. Insert my cartridge. Yes. Okay, so I think right here I'm not. This will be when I push this button. So let's do it. So it's gonna. I'm not gonna see anything because the music's kind of good. That's neat. Here we go.
Show me what you found. I am blind, but it is you who cannot see for what it truly is. One of the pods was left.
You're not worthy.
Get inside!
Greatest temptation is trying to control something we do not fully understand. But what do we do when faced with the truly inexplicable? Some tear it up to make souvenirs. Others keep it chained up inside a perimeter cage. Perhaps all the zone really needs is our compassion.
Control center, what's going on over there? We've got anomalous activity at all our facilities. Yuga, respond!
Perhaps the time has come to let her choose her own destiny.
We're receiving numerous reports of unidentified anomalous entities.
Wir rechnen mit einer baldigen Ansprache der Regierung an die Bevölkerung.
Do not approach or make contact with anomalous objects.
There is nothing you can keep secret that will not come into the open. It's just a matter of time. I used to serve the monolith blindly, until she opened my eyes. Keep life's adventure going. One must embrace freedom. Such is the gift of the zone.
Alright, so I'll actually just skip through this and get to the thing and explain. So I think the Faust, I don't know if it's going to end the same every single time, but it actually makes like complete sense to me. So let me reload from where I left off. I was definitely blown away. Like I wish what I was alluding to is I wish Faust. It makes sense if you know if you're far enough into the game to where you know what Faust is and what's up with him. And I think I would have been like 100% on board with like if you'd have just been the surprise behind the door like boom hey how's it going and I would have probably been like okay cool like because so much to touch on without like ruining critical parts that weren't shown here in the end of the game. So all I'll say is, man, I wish there was more info somewhere. Like, just take a look around. I'm probably sure I can't get through any of these doors anymore. I'm probably locked in. Oh no. Oh, this is these blind doors. So I think what happens to your guy in the end is you're becoming one with the noosphere, right? In the zone in particular, maybe. That would be my assumption, because you're definitely dead. Like you're gone. You're joining this subtle matter or whatever the hell's going on. But see, all these people had an agenda that went into the noosphere. So all these constructs that are in here making up, I want to say probably sea consciousness. Maybe I'm wrong. They just all were. They all had a objective that was to control things or whatever, whereas you're going in here knowing damn well you're gonna die, and you really don't. You're doing it to stop, like maybe with a idealistic thing of, I just don't know. Like, I'll have to play it again to go through and see if my thoughts are right. But basically, you don't want the zone to die. You want to free the zone. You want to let it open to everyone. But you want it to be open for the right reasons, right? You don't want to just like have the zone being manipulated by people with, let's say, not great agendas, right? So, because that would affect mankind. So if you keep the status quo, that's why I'm thinking. I initially was like, Borg might be onto something. But now knowing if their intention is to destroy the zone, wouldn't that really be really bad for humanity? With the noosphere, I don't know, or do man use it to weaponize it to enslave mankind? Regardless, it's going to lead to more death. If you look at freedom, quite literally, or Star or whatever, and Scar. I don't know, that dude's just a little too unhinged. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want him like piloting your driving car that you're in, let alone like, you know, controlling the noosphere or whatever. You're not worthy, he says at that point. I'm kind of trying to take that in because I think he's basically saying you're not worthy to become one of the, you know, the controller of the zone or something like that. So arguably what really stuck with me was when Faust, without ruining anything, there's a part in there where you grab your head and you get to see it like Matrix style. Like, arguably, he was never lying to you. He was showing you the zone for what it really was, kind of giving you a glimpse. And then, you know, I mean, he could have killed you. There's like a lot of things Faust could have easily done if you think about it. And so many points, Faust could have easily ended you. So why didn't he end you? He wanted... So these are all assertions. If Faust didn't end you, which he could have easily done, then... Oh, but then again, why was there such stiff fight competition here? Monolith. Okay. So you had Monolith here guarding the thing. Maybe he needed somebody capable of getting through there with their heart in the right place, right? Meaning you'd have to get through over crazy odds to get to where I'm at right now. And you'd have to have the right reason. So it'd be really hard to find somebody like that. And he couldn't do it himself, I don't think, because... I've got some suspicions about that. Because if he would have went in, who knows? Because, you know, it's not like that dude was pretty obvious that Foss isn't exactly normal. So what would have happened if he would have went into the thing? Like, that might have really set things ablaze. Or maybe he wanted to be outside and still able to physically to do something. Who knows? I don't know. All I know is if you choose this ending, you're most assuredly, you know, you're gone. That's it. And I think what you're seeing with the beginning of the game is kind of like, I don't know. I got to do some thinking on this because it draws me into like that recent revelation that time is not the relevant factor in science anymore. It's crazy. Yeah. So I'm wondering if not, like, that's not just a reflection, like the explosion was something bad that happened at the lab as they were trying to screw with forces they didn't understand, and the zone opened a portal and got its little shard out of there. I can also want to point out that Heart of Chernobyl is quite literally the name of the game, right? Like you didn't see that part, but my guy got up here, threw out whatever lame artifact they were going to use, and literally that's the main artifact. Strelok had the Heart of Chernobyl. So your guy replaces that, and then, you know, next thing is flip the switch, and then boom. And I'm just going to do it one more time, because I love that music, man. I got to hear the music again, because that's pretty dope. I like that a lot. And then I'll just end it here. So we'll watch it one last time, and then I'm just going to end the video.
Show me what you found.
I am blind, but it is you who cannot see for it truly is.
One of the pods was left.
You're not worthy.
Get inside! The greatest temptation is trying to control something we do not fully understand. But what do we do when faced with the truly inexplicable? Some tear it up to make souvenirs. Others keep it chained up inside a perimeter cage. Perhaps all the zone really needs is our compassion.
Dugas, control center. What's going on over there? We've got anomalous activity at all our facilities. Dugas, respond.
Perhaps the time has come to let her choose her own destiny.
We're receiving numerous reports of unidentified anomalous entities.
À l'extérieur, wir rechnen mit einer baldigen Ansprache der Regierung an die Bevölkerung.
Do not approach or make contact with the anomalous objects.
I do gotta add right here, like, this dude's remarkably cool, considering everything screwed up that was done to him. So, the very idea that maybe he had the best interest at heart at the just goes to speak to, like, just how awesome this dude is.
There is nothing you can keep secret that will not come into the open. It's just a matter of time.
With those beheadings, it reminds me of the guy from Vegas that would load the 45s in that, like, scene, I forget, the DLCs.
I used to serve the monolith blindly until she opened my eyes. To keep life's adventure going, one must embrace freedom. Such is the gift of the zone.
Alright, that's where I'll end it. So, leave a comment down below if you guys watch this, tell me your thoughts are. But I plan on playing it again. I just don't know if you can get a better ending than that. Like, I don't know. We'll see.